We're now up to three. That is three drops of what have become known as the Twitter files. The latest edition detailing the story behind former President Trump's ban from the social media platform. The story is so large and high profile, journalist Matt Taibbi, who has been releasing much of this on his own Twitter feed, said it would be released in three installments. This first installment covers the period before the election through January 6th. Tomorrow at Schellenberger MD will detail the chaos inside Twitter on January 7th. On Sunday, Barry Weiss will reveal the secret internal communications from the key date of January 8th. Here to weigh in, Tennessee Congressman and member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Tim Burchett. Congressman, welcome to the show. Great to have you with us this Saturday afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
So these Twitter files, of course, that continue to reveal more and more of what went on behind the scenes prior to Elon Musk taking over Twitter and during the all-important election. Help us break down what we saw in the latest file drop regarding the former president.
Well, I think it shows a complete capitulation by the people in charge of Twitter, and it shows a collaboration, I believe, between the FBI, if you notice some of the back and forth. And to me, that's the highest levels of government that were involved in censorship and swaying a presidential election. So if I think the big distraction is January 6th, where in fact the takeover of our country was happening in a boardroom with Twitter and some federal employees. And I would hope that the American public wakes up and our national media starts addressing this, because they are part of the problem and they are going to be called on the carpet because of it. I dare say Representative Comer and my good friend Jim Jordan will be nailing somebody to the wall over this.
Yeah, what do you see the potential fallout being for these people who very much were involved in serious censorship?
I think overthrow our government. What is at the base of it, ma'am? You've got these elite liberals that think that they know best for us. The Bible tells us, professing yourself to be wise, you became fools. And the arrogance of these people is beyond belief. They think that their values are what needs to be instilled in our country instead of the natural path, and that we're supposed to follow what they believe. And it gets to the highest levels of our federal government, and that should be very chilling to the American people going into this Christmas season.
Yeah, Congressman, this is, of course, the third batch of files we have seen released so far, the second this week. And on Thursday, independent journalist Barry Weiss detailed the censorship Twitter imposed on conservative voices, revealing that teams of Twitter employees built blacklists and prevented disfavored tweets from trending, and actively limited the visibility of entire accounts or even trending topics, all in secret without informing the users. Now, of course, this gives credence to what many have been saying for years, that Twitter discriminated against and suppressed specifically conservative voices. And again, we talked about the potential consequences for censorship, but as you say, there's something more dangerous happening here.
Yes, ma'am. And I with my good friend of mine, Jason Zachary, whose wonderful home I'm in right now. We were talking about the censorship, and I said in my own Twitter @Tim Burchett account that my numbers have gone up tenfold in and just the back and forth, and so ever since Elon Musk took over. And so you can imagine that if you extrapolate that worldwide, and the power that these people had, that a few elite liberal people had, and their hatred of President Trump and their hatred of the American way, to me, that reeks of espionage, that reeks of a complete overthrow and a capitulation of our government as we know it. And people, as I've stated very much, they better wake up, because it is a new day in America, and there's going to be a new reckoning when the Republicans take over in January. And they can claim tinfoil hat and all that other garbage, but this thing, and this is at the highest levels of government, and dadgummit, we better get control of it, or we will, in fact, lose our country as we know it today. And the people at the FBI, I would suspect the shredders are going full blast up there right now. And that 8th floor of the Justice Department building we need to clean house, ma'am. It is like a trash can. Everybody wants to pick and choose their garbage. We need to put a a fire hose in this trash can and clean it out top to bottom, because this thing stinks. And it is, Trump he had them in their sights, and they know it. It was just too big and too much for even him to handle. And they actually overthrew, they swayed the electorate and they used censorship. And we've got to get to the bottom of it. We cannot stand to let this go.
And moving on to the other big story this week, of course, WNBA star Brittany Griner has returned home to the United States. Now, she was held in Russia since February on drug charges. Griner arrived in the U.S. early Friday morning, landing at Kelly Field in San Antonio, Texas. Now, her release was secured, as we have been learning, through a prisoner exchange. She was traded for notorious international arms dealer Victor Bout, bringing an end to an ordeal that sparked high-level negotiations between Washington and Moscow to secure Griner's freedom. However, this prisoner swap has outraged many, being called possibly the worst trade ever. Talk to us a bit about the danger in releasing such a notorious arms dealer like Victor Bout. It's not like he's not going to go back to work promptly, one would assume.
Ma'am, all dirt bags. In the war in Angola, where you had black Africans fighting black Africans, he supplied both sides of that conflict. If you see somebody with an AK-47 pointing it at an American or an American support force, it is because of this guy. This man is responsible. He has American blood on his hands. And this president, ma'am, his cognitive level is gone. We've got to address this problem we have in the White House. For this trade to be made is ridiculous. I'm glad Ms. Griner's home. She broke the law. People got to understand when they're out of this country, they are out of this country. And these stars that are traveling all over the world, they got to realize they got a target on their head, because this president will give away he'll give away everything for it. This guy was the #1 arms trader in the world to all of our enemies. Every time you see something that goes on in the world, this clown was involved with it, and he profited from it. And this is who we chose to trade for a woman who won't stand for our national anthem, who, and in my opinion, is not a role model in any shape, form, or fashion. She broke the law. She was arrogant. She was overseas, thought nobody could touch her. She was targeted. They picked her up for breaking a law over there. And now we're paying for it by releasing a convicted arms trader to our enemies. It's just beyond belief. There's so much going on in the White House. I just think America is just like, what the hell's going to happen next?
Yeah. All right. Congressman Tim Burchett, we're out of time. Great to have your insight. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope you have a very political Merry.
Thank you.
No crooked establishment.
None of that twisting the
truth.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax.
Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think.
They let
me decide.
Newsmax.
Real news
For real people.